With Iran still smoldering after the unprompted attack by the United States, and with Donald Trump declaring victory in a war that he didn't have congressional authorization to fight, the global situation has taken another turn. Enter Vladimir Putin. Welcome back to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. The nation continues its period of shock following yesterday's attack on 3 Iranian sites, including the Fordo nuclear facility. Reports since the attack have revealed that the facility was not destroyed, though it was heavily damaged. Intelligence also suggests the Iranians moved key materials out of the facility last week, anticipating the attack. Nevertheless, the Trump administration claims that this conflict ended with a sole attack by the United States and expect no reprisal. Earlier today, diminutive Secretary of State Marco Rubio said this.
There are no planned military operations right now against Iran unless they mess around and they attack American or American interests. Then they're going to have a problem. And I'm not going to broadcast what those problems are, but suffice it to say, know this. The United States flew halfway around the world, right into the heart of Iran, over their most sensitive locations. These things got rocked. And then we left. And we were out of their airspace. We were over the ocean before they figured out what had happened. And there are plenty of other targets. We don't want to do that. That's not our preference. We want peace deals with them, and that's up to them to decide.
Gee, that doesn't sound at all distressing, does it? Well, fair warning, it gets worse. Does Rubio seriously believe that a nation so attacked won't launch any kind of reprisal? Actually, we already know that the Iranians are planning reprisal. In fact, it's already begun.
Big development, Iran's parliament has approved the to close strategically the vital Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil shipping route following U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites. The final decision rests with the Iran Supreme National Security Council, the country's highest security authority, but the parliament has actually approved a measure to close the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil shipping route. That's what the Iranian platform, Iran International, is actually has put out. This is a big development that has happened. The final decision now rests with the Iran Security Council and the Security Authority. Major General Kausari, beg your pardon, Major General Kausari, a member of the Parliament's National Security Committee, told state media that while the Parliament has reached a consensus in favor of closing the strait, the final decision rests with Iran's Supreme National Security Council, the country's highest security authority.
So, if anyone noticed gas prices are suddenly higher today, there is a reason why. And they're about to get even higher, so stay with me. Between 20 and 25% of all the world's oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz. At the time of this broadcast, tankers are rushing to escape the strait, fearing military action by Iran. Notice the big red spot there in the bottleneck? Now, Iran hasn't yet begun military action to close the strait, but there is strong indication that is about to happen, and that this conflict is about to escalate. Multiple outlets, including Politico, now report that Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is en route to Moscow to consult with Vladimir Putin as we speak. Putin is a strong ally of the Iranian regime, and political scientists have long noted that part of the reason the Ayatollah stays in power is because of Russian influence. In essence, Putin needs the conflict that Iran creates to keep oil prices high, keep the Middle East unstable, and keep the United States distracted. What will likely happen in those meetings is that Araghchi will ask Putin for his blessing to use military force to close the Strait of Hormuz, and possibly for Russian weapons or manpower to do so. Putin might also allow his support if Iran decides to attack U.S. military bases in the region, which would invite further American retaliation. So no, this is not mission accomplished. This is just the beginning. There are good reasons other presidents, from both parties, mind you, did not use military force to intervene in Iran. And for all those of you foolish enough to celebrate the American attack, ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice now? Money for higher oil prices? American weapons? Full-scale warfare between the nations of the Middle East? American troops on the ground? And what will this do to America's already tenuous role in world affairs? Will Russia press more attacks in Ukraine? Will China try to annex Taiwan? Where does this end? Does that sound like a world war to you? And if that's not enough, consider this. What if the United States was attacked? What would you want then? Retribution, right? A single terrorist attack on September 11, 2001 saw the United States invade 2 countries and fail to kill the man who planned the attack. And Iraq and Afghanistan didn't have the connections to other major world powers that Iran has. Of course, we will keep you informed as new developments in this crisis come about. For now, pray for peace. Pray for the Iranian people who have no quarrel with the United States. And pray the Congress of the United States enforces the Constitution over Trump's illegal attack. These are scary times, and we don't want them to get any scarier. This is Occupy Democrats.